Alrighty, it's your boys Yuxis, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. And in today's video, I'm just going to be talking about some characters you probably want to have on your account or aim for on your account so that you can have an easier run or easier grind on Nikke, right? Essentially must-have characters for your account. Now, I have a BBS channel as well where I usually do must-have characters for your account, like it's a tier list type thing. I'm going to bring that here to Nikke, not in this video, but sometime in the future. I'm going to have a tier list, and then every month I'm going to update that tier list and add characters onto that tier list so you guys know every month what characters you should be using, what characters are must have on your account and stuff like that. If you guys are new, make sure you guys subscribe. Thank you guys all for the support lately. You guys have been going crazy. You guys have been commenting, you guys have been liking, showing mad love, so I appreciate every single one of you guys who've been supporting the channel lately. And let's get into it. So the first person you're going to want to have on your account is this character right here, which is Scarlet. This girl is probably the character you want to re-roll for. You don't want to start this game unless you have this character, essentially, right? I highly recommend, if you're a new player, re-roll your account until you pull this girl, because she is still the best DPS in the game. It's probably still the best unit in the game. I mean, one of the three, I would say. I'd say one of the three best units, because I would say there's a burst 1 best, like, best burst 1 unit, best burst 2, and then best burst 3. I would say this character right here is the best burst 3 unit, and this is definitely a character you want to re-roll for. Just again, because she's the hardest hitting unit in the game, she's very, very powerful. So let's talk about what she can do real quick. So on her skill 1, after landing 10 normal attacks, she actually increases her attack. This is all level 10 stats, right? Your Scarlet's probably not going to be level 10 stats, but if it is, then it is, right? But after landing 10 normal attacks, she increases her attack by 23.15%, and that could stack up to 5 times. That lasts for 5 seconds. So essentially, that's what, 115-ish percent, like 115 point what, 60%, right? Something around there. Or 70 something percent, 75%. I don't know. My math might not be right there, but it's something around there, right? And then her HP does get lowered though, right? By 4% essentially. So every 10 attacks, her HP does get lower, right? Fortunately, but again, her attack is increasing by basically 100%, and that's very, very powerful, especially since that's a normal attack, right? Every 10 normal attacks she does that. That's pretty good. Her second skill affects the attacker, has a 30% chance of casting when attacked, deals 138.24% of extra damage, or not extra damage, of attack as damage, and then affects self when HP falls below 60%. Her crit damage increases by 67 or 61%, my bad, right? So just her skill 1 and skill 2, very, very good skills, right? And then her passive affects self, casts when HP is below 50%, increases her crit rate by basically 20%, 19.57% for 10 seconds, and then affects all enemies, deals 49.15% of attack as damage, right? Very, very good kit here. Again, her skill 1 is very, very broken, right? The only thing about her is that she loses HP, but there's multiple characters who could save you with that, right? But yeah, there's no question, the fact that she's increasing her attack, if you have her at level 10, increasing it by up to 100%, 100+% on a normal attack is pretty crazy. And all you have to do is land 10 normal attacks. That's not hard. 10 normal attacks is not hard, right? So a very, very must-have unit, guaranteed, right? Next, it's going to be Lita. Now, in my opinion, maybe some people will say Senti, but in my opinion, I feel like Lita is the best support in the game. She increases attack and she heals when you're covering. A very, very good character, like literally just game-changing if you have her. It's so sad because I don't have her and I want her so badly. But let's talk about what she can do. So, her skill 1 here activates when entering a full burst, and this affects all allies, right? She's literally best support in the game, in my opinion. Affects changes according to the activation time, right? So previous effect triggers repeatedly. Once cooldown skills go down by 2.34 seconds. Twice cooldown of burst skill goes down by 2.7 seconds, and then 3 times cooldown of burst skills go down by 3.17 seconds. So essentially, when you get a full burst 3 times, the like timer cooldown is going down every time, which is good, right? It's giving you extra seconds, which is making a lot of other characters just like spam their burst, I guess you could say. 3 seconds is not really going to change anything for characters like Modernia and them with 40-second cooldowns, I don't think, but obviously it's going to help a lot, like get full burst quicker with a lot of other characters, right? So keep that in mind. And then when using a full burst, activates affects all allies with bad. Affects changes according to activation times, so it changes again. Once the ammo capacity increases by 45.17% for 5 seconds, twice critical damage increases by 12.46%, and then 3 times attack increases by 14.42 seconds. So if you get a full burst 3 times, she's just increasing your attack more. Not to mention her like burst skill, I'm going to come back to her second skill, but her burst skill increases all allies attack. It increases it by 66% for 5 seconds. Keep in mind, this is a burst 1 unit with a 20-second cooldown, so that's going to happen every time. Every time you get a full burst, she is going to be increasing your attack by 66%, if you have her skills level 10, of course, right? These are probably characters you want to prioritize building up their skills too. I'll probably have a separate video on that, because even though a lot of these characters are going to be must-have characters, it's going to be hard to get every single one of them level 10 skills, at least instantly, right? Because it takes a lot of resources, so you got to be smart with who you choose. And then her second skill, when they she affects 2 allies with the lowest HP of cover, and then cover HPs recovers by 52.5%. A very, very broken support, easily a must-have unit, right? Very, very good. Like, I would highly recommend, if you really want to reroll and start with the best account, probably reroll until you get Lita and Scarlet. I know you can buy accounts too for like $4 that guaranteed start with Lita and Scarlet, and they have gems too. So if you want, you guys could probably pick up those accounts too, right? Definitely let me know, right? I'll probably have giveaways in the future with like accounts like that and stuff like that. So keep look out for that, I guess. Now we have Senti here. Senti is definitely an interesting one, because she's more of like a, I don't want to say she's a tank. She's definitely a support, but she becomes very crazy, especially when you get her skills to level 10. So let's take a look at it here, right? So basically her skill 1 activates when hitting. She is a rocket launcher too, so it's not going to be hard to get a full charge. Obviously, it's not with any character realistically, but yeah. Activates when hitting a target with full charge. Affects self cooldown of skill 2. Just cuts down by 9 seconds. That's crazy, because her skill 2 is only 9 seconds, which means literally when you get her skill to level 10 here, when you get her skills to level 10 here, you can just gonna spam her skill 2, which is broken, right? So she creates a shield equivalent to 6.38% of the caster's max HP, which protects all allies from damage, and it lasts for 5 seconds. So that lasts for 5 seconds, but every 9 seconds, it's just broken, literally. What? It's literally just so broken what's happening here. It's broken what's happening here. So her first skill, every time you full charge, its cooldown is getting reduced by 9.16%. Again, this is all level 10 skills. Your Senti is probably not doing this if she's not level 10 skills, right? And then every 5 seconds, I guess every time you use the skill 2, she creates a shield equivalent to 6.38% of her max HP, which protects all allies from damage. That lasts for 5 seconds. Like, it's so broken what's going on there. If you understand, you understand, right? And it lasts for 5 seconds. So, again, it's just going to like, keep spamming. It's just spamming. It's broken. It's broken. Essentially, she's just keeping your team alive the whole time. That's literally it. She's literally like keeping your team alive for a whole time, right? Obviously, you can still lose when using her, right? There's obviously very hard-hitting bosses, but it's very, very dangerous what she's doing here. And then affects 5 enemy units with the lowest HP, deals 145.46% of attack as damage, and then lowers their defense by 14.54% for 10 seconds. So she's a very good character, right? Lowering their defense and literally protecting your whole team, like, instantly, like literally she's doing it consistently too. It's very, very broken what this character is doing, right? But again, even if you don't have her level 10 skills, like let me pull up my Senti real quick. So here's my Senti. My Senti has level 5 skills, right? And literally it's still 9 seconds, but even at level 5, every time she uses a full charge, she is lowering it by 6.62%. I mean, I can increase that to probably get to 7%. Yeah, and there we go. Now every 2, we just have to really wait 2 seconds, and then it's spamming. It's literally so broken. And she's still lowering her defense by 10.5% at level 5 too. So very, very good unit here in my opinion. Definitely not probably somebody you want to re-roll for, like start off. I mean, you could, right? But I would say like start off definitely with Scarlet. That's probably who you want to re-roll for, right? But if you want to re-roll for Scarlet and Lita, you can do that. If you want to re-roll for Scarlet and Senti, you could do that as well. But Scarlet is definitely the character you want to re-roll for. Alright, so Modernia here is a newer character, but still very good. If you want, you can actually re-roll until you pull her, because she is another hard-hitting unit of the game, a very, very hard-hitting unit of the game. She's almost on par with Scarlet, if not on par with Scarlet. So you could re-roll for any of the two. I would just recommend Scarlet because she's better, in my opinion, but Modernia is also a great character to start your account off with, too. So let's talk about she can do quickly here. So these are, again, you guys know they're all level 10 skills, right? Activates when normal attack hits, affects the target, deals 3.05% of attack as additional damage. So she's essentially just doing additional damage every time she hits, and then when normal attack hits 200 times, since she is a machine gun, critical damage increase by 14.25%, stacks up to 5 times and lasts for 10 seconds, right? Max ammo capacity increases by 5.04%. Stacks up to 5 times for 10 seconds. So that's very good, right? She's increasing her crit chance by more than 50%. Crit damage by more than 50%. And then her ammo capacity more than 25%, essentially, right? And then again, just doing regular 3% of attack as extra damage is just going to be great, right? Especially how her kit works, right? Her second skill, Giant Leap, affects all allies. Activates when entering a full burst. Hit rate increased by 8.56% for 15 seconds. So for people who do not know what hit rate is, it's basically accuracy, right? This is going to be better for characters who are basically accuracy. It's going to be better for characters who like are long range, right? Snipers, not snipers, right? I don't know, like SMGs, right? Machine guns. Like, it's going to be better for those characters, right? Basically distance, right? So if they're far away, right? Characters who are far away, the higher their hit rate are, like characters like with shotguns are going to be able to hit them easier, right? Even if they're far away, right? Because the shotgun goes everywhere. It's kind of like realistic in this game, right? But hit rate is basically accuracy, right? So the bullets stay on the enemy, essentially, right? So having that for characters like with machine guns, having that for characters like with shotguns, very, very good, right? So machine guns, very good, right? And that's for 15 seconds, everybody on your team, so that's great. And then affects self when attacking, or activates when normal attack hits 200 times during increased hit rate status, increases attack by 29.38% for 10 seconds. So she's increasing her attack essentially just by 30%, 29%, which is just broken, right? And then her burst skill, right, increases the full burst time by an extra 5 seconds, so that's just more damage, right? A full burst gives you extra damage and stuff like that, so that's very good. And then effect self, she has unlimited ammo for 15 seconds, and then she enters, I guess, destroy mode, extending the line of sight of auto aim at all enemies within fire range, right? It's blue, so I'm trying to like see here. Stage targets will be recognized as a single enemy, right? So basically she attacks one person and everybody's taking damage. It's very broken, right? She's literally like linking every single character, right? She attacks one character or one enemy and everybody on the field who is there at the time is recognized as one enemy. So she doesn't need to, you know how you have to attack multiple enemies to get rid of them? She can just attack the boss and enemies will die. She can just attack enemies and the boss will die, essentially, if they're all there when she activates the full burst. It's a very, very broken thing here. This burst skill is what makes her so broken, I feel like. Obviously, the skill 2 works too. And obviously your skill 1, but the burst 1 or the burst skill makes it that you can just handle everything at once, which is what a lot of characters are going to want to go for. That's why people do say Modernia is better than Scarlet, just for that reason, right? Again, I still think Scarlet's better personally, but Modernia, again, if you want, re-roll for her too, and you can keep her. You don't even need, if you re-roll for her, Scarlet's still, you know, slightly better, but again, this girl will work as well. So those are definitely characters you want to have. And then just kind of speed it up here. You want characters like Privity. I believe she's still free, right? From like the 7 days of starting an account thing. But you definitely want her. She's very good, especially when it comes to being in a full burst. She just increases attack. This is a normal skill, or skill 1, right? Increases attack, increases max capacity, or I guess lowers it, right? Lowering the ammo max capacity is pretty good, actually, right? Lowering it makes it that characters who need to, like, I guess, fully waste their ammo, it kind of helps those types of characters, right? Increases reload speed by like 50%, very good, right? And then she also hits hard too, right? She does great damage, I'm not gonna lie. Especially since she does stun on her burst skill, right? She'll do an extra 1000 damage as an additional attack to a character who's stunned. By the last round of ammo, of course, right? Very, very broken. So she's definitely somebody you want to have. And then you want to have characters like Pepper, who's a healer. Pepper is a really good healer. Rapunzel is a very, very good healer. Those are characters you want to have on your account. You don't got to reroll for them, but definitely Rapunzel, you want to have her on your account. Noise is a very great support as well. Going to get the job done. And then also Rupee is going to help you with your attack, your defense, all that stuff, right? No, she's not going to help you with your attack and defense, so I got mixed up. But yeah, very, very good support, right? So those are a few characters you want to have. Again, I'm going to make a tier list of characters you want to have so you guys can just go back to look through it. But those characters, like I mentioned before, Lita, Scarlet, Modernia, Senti, even Haran. Haran is a very good DPS too, right? You can reroll for her too and keep her. I wouldn't say she's better than Modernia or Scarlet, but again, you can keep her. Very good damage dealer. But again, I'll have a tier list so you guys can just look at it and then you will know. But hopefully I explained it well for a lot of these characters, right? But again, if you're rerolling, not Senti, Scarlet and Lita are probably what you want to start your account with. And if you want, you could just buy an account for $4 that has these two and then that. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm forgetting any, or not forgetting any characters, but if there's any characters you guys would like to mention that I haven't mentioned. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.